This is a reading video for Quad Shot Part 2, Episode 4, 5, and 6 of Grimgar. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction, then come back here to my full thoughts, news, and theories about these episodes and what's to come and all that kind of stuff. My theory about what's to come and such and so forth and other words and such. So click away now or be spoilers of what happened in these episodes. So, just a reminder for those of you who are unaware, if you're watching this on YouTube when it becomes public, when it's publicly available for YouTube and everything, there's already a new show starting up on Patreon every week, in as well as Grimgar for public kind of thing. So every time a show is done or is uploaded publicly, there's another show like that was right behind this one kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, consider pledging to any amount really. Just you could be just a $1 amount and still have access to the one shots and everything, or sorry, card shots, which is a monthly thing and everything. So, yeah. Should be. I'm not no idea what the show is really right now, but that's just like a thing I wanted to say. Anyways, jumping over to the Grimgar stuff. Pretty somber episodes. Like just a lot of emotional grief with the characters trying to deal with what happened to their leader, to Monato and everything, and dealing with bringing a new member into the party and trying to make it work and all that kind of stuff, and dealing with the whole bearing of the body, or dealing with the body kind of thing, to make it so it doesn't rise up and then attack them in the middle of the night or whatever like that. That was the whole thing about some kind of demon necromancer, whatever like that, like some kind of king dude, able to revive the dead, basically. So you want to always burn the bodies and just then just toss them into a grave and just let them revive again, kind of thing. So, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next for sure. Like after these episodes, I'm still wondering what's gonna happen, other than just getting better with their skills, kind of thing. Maybe a bit more Mary stuff. Mary's the new priest, who took Monto's spot in the party and everything as a healer. So they still have a healer. But I was thinking, while she wasn't healing anybody, there's a lot of minor scratches and everything, and so it makes sense that she is not healing every little tiny thing, because it uses mana. It uses up your magic and everything. So she learned from it. She literally hardcore learned from it, badly. She was in a party of her own, and they went they were undefeated because they were just being a badass. She was healing all the time, kind of thing, and people were winning and everything. Went into this one dungeon or this mine shaft, whatever, to fight a kobold, and the kobold ended up just slaughtering not every single one, but 3 people basically. She ran out of mana because she couldn't heal anybody anymore, and that was it basically. So she's learned from her mistakes. She learned from healing every single minor wound, and it kind of just had to live with that that mistake that she and her party, not just her, it wasn't just her, she was, it worked for what they were doing, but for stronger bosses and everything, stronger minions and everything, you obviously have to change up your strategy to fight a stronger opponent, kind of thing. So she was still in the mindset of small people, kind of the small minions and monsters and such, to attack and kill and everything. So she still had that mindset. So small scratches and everything, it's oh yeah, I'll just heal that up real quick. But with a big boss, big dude, whatever, coming in, just every single slice of a sword or mace or whatever it was, probably did a ton of damage just by one swing, kind of thing. So she's probably trying to heal those wounds while he's coming back for a second swing, kind of thing. So just a lot of power behind all of his attacks, as probably as well as his claws and just his body in general. I'm wondering if we are going to actually be going to attack him. That Cobalt that they talked about in this series or not. I don't know, just a thought. It's gonna be really cool to see what happens with the party when they become like a well-oiled machine kind of thing, and like looking after each other and making sure they don't like overstep their like we're invincible, we could do anything, and just like jump into like a tiger nest and or raptor nest or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they deal with something like stuff like that. I'm sure that they'll take her side of like experience, because like she's not with them in terms of like the like experience level kind of thing, so she's way higher than them in terms of like she's been here longer. She's I think she's a full-fledged member. She's not a she's not like normal trainee volunteer. I think she's a member volunteer. I think. I mean, her clothes make it seem like yes. But I'm not sure if the clothes are that you're given clothes when you rank up or not. So I'm not sure on that. I don't know. Anyways, she's obviously she's like well experienced in combat and everything, because she's dealt with kobolds and just stuff like that. So she's had combat experience, nevertheless. So, I think if Hidehiro, if he wants to be a good leader, he needs to listen to all of his party members whenever they suggest something kind of thing, and then take it into account, and then make the right decision kind of thing to do with it, or do it. So I hope it works out for them. I really do. I hope they all get some kind of spells for not just combat spells, right? For right now, they all have combat spells except Mary. Mary has all the healing spells and such as that. So I think they need more defensive spells to help along with their combat spells kind of thing, just in case they need it. Just like instead of like a backstab ability, have like shadow step, something like that, like just like a fade away into like the shadow, just to kind of get away from like an attack, or some kind of parry attack with the tank, or something like that, or some kind of like I'm trying to think of like the tank. What was his name? Mugazo. Him using the big sword and everything. He doesn't have a shield, so he can't really like dodge anything. But he can probably use the sword like as a big like overhead attack kind of thing, like smack the ground to like push back enemies. Maybe a taunt. Maybe some kind of like taunt ability kind of thing. That's one thing a tank always needs, to taunt. But ultimately, yeah, he needs like a helmet. He needs like defensive gear. Like he needs like a full suit of like battle armor kind of thing. Like because he's gonna be right up there like attacking the guys. So might as well like give him all the armor you could possibly get. But obviously, the mage, Shaharu and everything. Obviously, range attacks, that kind of thing. But maybe some buffs, because he's a mage, so maybe you can buff the party kind of thing, make him a little bit stronger. Accuracy buff, stuff like that. Like I'm trying to think of like stuff they can do to kind of that they need in the party in order to kind of be more support-y to each other, kind of thing. Because right now, Shaharu does have a support skill or ability, whatever. It's the one that she shoots the shadow bolt, or whatever, at the minion, hits the minion, it like circles around them, like stuns them a little bit, so that way the other people can come in and just like finish it off or like that. So more stuff like that would definitely work. But obviously for her, she already has a support ability, so she could probably just do like a a big spell, whatever thing to help out with combat, or like AOE kind of thing like that, or like maybe like a um chain lightning, or I'm just kind of thinking of like different abilities that mages might have. I know chain lightning is more like a shaman thing in World of Warcraft, but like I was just kind of thinking of that, just spells in general. Um, I was thinking maybe having, I don't know, just some kind of like minion, right? Like some kind of like summon minion kind of thing. But I don't know if a summoner is a class in this world or not. But something like that, just take the brunt of damage would be interesting. I wanted to see what Ranta's shadow looks like his demon buddy guy, whatever. I never got to see him. He's always talked about him, but I never really never got to see him at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we ever get to see him, or is it ever gonna be talked about, kind of thing, constantly. But who knows? Anyways, I feel like these episodes, it was pretty slow, but it was also like very emotional kind of thing for the characters. So that's the reason why. Some funny bits here and there, like getting caught outside in the rain, in the mud, like acting like, and Shiharu caught it catching them, acting like it was like something like like naughty or whatever like that, but they were just laying in the mud basically. But it was a couple of little funny bits here and there. Um, but ultimately it was a pretty slow bit of episodes. I mean, the first episode was really cool, kind of combat stuff like that, but then it turned dark pretty quickly, because he died and everything. So, um, yeah, that whole battle there seemed very weird, because it seemed like the one goblin was like he shot the arrow, the crossbolt, like he was aiming at Monato, and then he kind of aimed down, like he knew he was aiming correctly, and then he shot, and then he just sat there and looked at them, and then he walked off, like he knew what he was doing. So I'm interested to see if that is like a boss or something in the kind of goblin army there in the rubble of, like, the town or whatever. So maybe some kind of hierarchy or whatever. But they have like a giant orc orc goblin, whatever you want to call him. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we were to ever get to fight them, basically. Um, but who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for episode 7, 8, and 9 for part 3. And so on and so forth. A reminder, like I said, if you want to see the if you're watching this on Patreon, then next week will basically be Grimgar. But if you're watching this on YouTube, next week will also be Grimgar. But you can also jump over to Patreon and see part 3 and part 4 already up on Patreon, as well as part 1 and part 2 of the next one, quad shot. Just like there's a lot going on, basically, if you're just watching this now on YouTube right now. So lots of content. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week for some more quad shot for Grimgar. Take it, buddy.